U.S. President Donald Trump suspending the 25% tariffs he imposed this week on most goods from Canada and Mexico. The exemptions, covering the two largest U.S. trading partners, expire on April 2 when Trump has threatened to impose a global regime of reciprocal tariffs on all U.S. trading partners. In response, Canada will delay a planned second wave of retaliatory tariffs on some $100 billion worth of U.S. products until April 2.
And I spoke to the President of Mexico, wonderful woman, today, and we helped them out with the problem they were having to do with the tariffs, short-term tariffs. And we had a very good conversation. Also, we discussed...
Aluminum tariffs are due to kick in next week on Canada, Mexico, and every other country. Are those going to be modified as well?
No, those aren't modified. Those are happening next week. And the big one will be on April 2nd when reciprocal tariffs. So if India or China or any of the countries that really... India is a very high tariff nation.
The suspension comes a day after Trump exempted automotive goods from the additional tariffs. Economists have warned Trump's trade war can further stoke inflation and stall growth across the U.S., Canada, and Mexico. Another official quits the Marcos cabinet. Malacanang announced on Thursday the resignation of Informations and Communications Technology Secretary Ivan Uy. Presidential Communications Undersecretary Claire Castro says the chief executive accepted Uy's resignation. But Marcos has yet to appoint Uy's replacement. No reason was given for Uy's resignation, which follows that of Transportation Secretary Jaime Bautista and Presidential Communications Secretary Cesar Chavez.
Take five. Okay po.
President Marcos Jr. blames a design flaw for the collapse of a newly opened bridge in Isabela province. He now wants a thorough inspection of the country's bridges, particularly those built during the Duterte administration. Katrina Domingo reports.
Tiboy Garo has been driving his tricycle to and from Cabagan and Santa Maria town for 25 years. But since the bridge linking the two towns collapsed, Tiboy has lost his main source of income. Tiboy says it is difficult to make a profit as the usual 15-minute trip via the bridge has now stretched to nearly an hour-long ride, as motorists have to make do with a narrow dirt road.
Dati nung open yung tulay, kahit 70 pesos lang ihatid na namin. Ngayon, kahit 100, hindi na namin ibibiyahe. Parang nakakapagod din magbiyahe pag gaganyan. Yung mga mahirap yung daanan.
Construction worker Brian will not earn for 2 weeks as he recuperates from the injuries he sustained when their vehicle fell along with the collapsed portion of the bridge.
Ang ganda ng bridge. Sabi pa namin na ganito na ganda ng bridge. Pang quality, pang tourist spot. Maya-maya, bumagsak.
Marcos Jr. says a design flaw is to blame for the mishap that has affected the livelihoods of hundreds of residents living in Cabagan and Santa Maria.
This is supposed to be a suspension bridge, nakasabit. Nakaganyan yung arko na ganyan, tapos yung bridge suportado ng kable. Ito lang ang suspension bridge na nakita ko sa buong mundo na hindi kable. At yan na mismo ang bumigay. Ayan o. Diyan bumigay yung bakal. Kung kable yan, hindi dapat bumigay yan.
The president claims the original proposal was to construct a 1.8 billion peso suspension bridge in 2014 and complete the project by 2019. But the project cost was slashed by about half to 900 million pesos, a price tag which eventually rose to 1.2 billion pesos as the government had to repair the bridge even before its opening.
Merong nangyari dyan noon. So, nireview uli ng isang third party. Nag-tilt na.
The contractor says Pier 8 or the 8th post of the bridge slightly tilted, but he denies that it was due to the use of substandard materials, a claim which the president supports.
Yun lang, yung specifications mali. So, yung nagtitipid tayo, nagtitipid natin sa 1.8 million, useless. Ngayon, babalik na naman tayo, gagastos na naman tayo ng malaki. Papalitan natin yung mga support, parang nagtayo na naman tayo ng bagong tulay.
Aside from the bridge's design, President Marcos also questions why a 100-ton truck was able to pass through, even though the bridge's maximum carrying capacity was just at 44 tons. When asked who should be held liable for this faulty project, the president says,
I always have a saying, fix the problem, not the blame. Ayusin muna natin yung problema. Believe me, we will find out who is responsible. Who is responsible is basically who made the design. Because their design was poor.
ABS-CBN News tried to get the side of designer Alberto Cañete, but he has yet to respond. Malacanang says 90% of the bridge was constructed during the Duterte administration, adding authorities need to find out why the project was given a go signal, even if there were already flaws in its design. A thorough inspection of all bridges in the country will also be done, especially those constructed under the Duterte administration.
Sinabi pa rin po niya na yung dapat managot. Yun po, ang unang-una po siyempre gagawin ng administrasyon, imbestigahan po ito. Imbestigahan mula nang ito ay magkaroon ng design up to the time kung bakit pa ito itinuloy kung hindi na magandang i-design noong 2014. Bakit tinapos pa ito sa panahon ni dating Pangulong Duterte at sinasabi pa nilang Duterte legacy ito? Hindi lamang po dun hihinto. Kung may liability rin po ang sino man sa kasalukuyang administrasyon, dapat din po managot. Aalamin po ito ng Pangulo.
Meanwhile, a resolution has been filed at the House of Representatives to
The Philippine Education Department is urged to find long-term solutions to prevent soaring temperatures from disrupting classes. House lawmakers made the appeal after several schools in Luzon called off classes due to extreme heat. The chair of the House Committee on Basic Education, Roman Romulo, says a temporary shift to online learning is unreliable because of internet connectivity problems. Other lawmakers noted delays in the delivery of learning modules to schools.
Ang ginawa natin doon sa mga previous years na mga delayed delivery, kasi magagamit pa man siya the following year. Kasi yung ibang mga module natin ay reusable. Pero kasi di naman nagamit. So ang ating instruction sa field is that if it's not used this time, then it should be kept, then it should be used for the following year. Yun ang ating strategy. That is for some areas na may mga concerns doon sa delivery.
While short-term na tugon ang online or modular learning kapag may class suspensions, pero then again, as part of our adaptation sa lumalalang init, I can't imagine kung ganito pa rin ba ang ating magiging tugon 5 to 10 years from now. Ibig sabihin ba every March and April ay ganito yung fallback natin?